Hello and welcome to a special edition of me playing Twisted Metal. My name is Drew, and let's do. I hope you enjoy. I've spent the last few months digging a rickety tunnel into the deepest, gnarliest pits of my childhood nostalgia, so that I might extract a Twisted Metal experience worth sharing. These videos are me asking you to come visit and see what I found, and you were foolish enough to click on it, and that was very stupid. You will certainly die down here. In my last video, I spent 3.5 hours driving a polka-dotted ice cream monstrosity through the rich tapestry of Twisted Metal history. Some say it was a thinly veiled effort to avoid looking Twisted Metal 4 in the eyes. Others say my skill issue is an embarrassment to mankind. The truth is, they're both right, and this video will make no effort to change that. This video is all about the final bosses of Twisted Metal. There are few things in this world that are unavoidable. Death, taxes, and a Twisted Metal game punctuated by a final boss that undoubtedly made you shit your pants the first time you encountered it. This franchise rarely misses when it comes to offering a climactic battle against an opponent that tests every skill you've learned. Final boss fights are defined by their grandiosity and their challenge. What better way is there to illustrate that than beating each final boss in the series one by one using its most fragile character, Mr. Grimm? Bringing a motorcycle to a boss fight, a real David and Goliath story. Wish me luck. This is every Twisted Metal final boss.
Subscribe to Drew Desidue, or I'll move everything in your home slightly to the left. Nothing will feel right, and you won't know why.
And here we are with Rooftop Battle, and of course starting with Twisted Metal 1, where it all began with the iconic Minion. So with Minion in Twisted Metal 1, the in-game explanation for him is that he's just someone who won last year's contest, he's a tank, whatever. There's very little lore reasons within the game, but the idea behind him originally was supposed to be, it was driven by a group of terrorist gangsters named Apocalypse 9, who stole the XJ-39 mine tank from the military, a tank who is controlled by the user's brain, allowing it to be more maneuverable, fast, and frankly just better in combat than any other tank that's ever come out before it. But now in the hands of the Apocalypse 9, they've crushed the competition and hope to take over the world. It's a very interesting story. A lot of cutscenes are made for it, including what would appear on the side of the tank itself, where they would have like a looping video of the inner thoughts of the driver, and it was just like a terrifying cacophony of nonsense. But that did not make the final version of the game. Instead, we just have this blank slate, which is most likely supposed to be a demon driving a tank, as it is in Twisted Metal 2. But very cool. Very interesting boss fight with this guy. And full transparency, I'm just using level codes to get to these levels quicker instead of going through the entire tournament. And when you do that with Twisted Metal 1, it gives you Minion on top of the other 3 opponents. So it's not that you fight them and then you get to Minion afterwards. It is all at once, baby! Which makes the boss fight even more terrifying. So I'll have to do my best to hopefully gather enough weapons, enough distance between me and the danger, that I may survive and reign victorious. Mr. Grimm has very little armor, but he can avoid damage pretty well, so I think that avoidance is just as important as a straight-up armor. I think avoidance takes a little bit more finesse, a little more skill. But Twisted Metal 1 is always a joy to go back to. I wish that I played this more earlier. When I did the Twisted Metal 1 series recently on this channel, I genuinely did not have much experience with Twisted Metal 1 outside of saying, hey, it's really fucking jank and it's hard to play. And I really regret not playing it sooner, or at least not trying to enjoy it sooner, because it's a brilliant game. It's just raw, simple car combat without all the fancy frills of, all the stuff that came after it, and it just does it perfectly. Just the vibe and everything is just totally nailed here. It looks like I'm doing some fairly, oh geez, that was a whiff. Okay, I'm gonna keep my homing missiles for later. I'm just gonna try to maybe use my specials because those regenerate fairly quickly. Mr. Grimm, they really knew what they were doing with this guy. And I think it's a testament to just the designs that they had. Actually, if he's going to land down here, I'm just going to leave a couple of mines for him. Enjoy that, Hammerhead. Stupid son of a bitch. You want babes? How about bombs, bitch? Okay, he avoided all of it. Machine guns it is. Have at thee. There you go. Easy peasy. That leaves just the big man himself, who's taking a fair amount of damage. I wonder from who. Very strange. But this boss fight, in normal circumstances, is fucking terrifying. Minion is the perfect final boss for a game like this. Because, in a game all about car combat, cars fighting each other, missiles flying, bullets whizzing, having just the biggest, baddest motherfucker, who's blacked out, fighting you, it's definitely, it's a treat, and it's everything a boss fight should be. Just ratchets the intensity up. It feels like the true climax. Oh, Jesus, dude. Chill the fuck out. and he can just delete you like that. But you want the final boss to be like the sort of crescendo of the game. Everything's leading up to this. All roads lead to this Carnage. And Minion, I love him. I just wish he didn't get demoted to a mid-boss for the rest of the game. It's very strange how they did that. Okay, I gotta get the fuck out. Minion will destroy me instantly. I'll just wait for my special to come back. One of them should work. If I can manage to actually, you know, shove it in there. Or a power missile. Let's see. Let's see what I can muster up. Oh, Jesus. Yeah, that was a whiff. Okay, it's okay. That power missile saved me. But for my... Oh, for my punishment, I'll drive off the edge. But no. And there you have it. That was a very smooth and solid final boss of Twisted Metal 1. Could have been better. I'm sure my skill issue is a glaring problem, a distracting issue. But I thought it was very good. But Minion, again, the perfect exclamation point for the end of this amazing game. But with that, let's take this to Twisted Metal 2, where things get even more grandiose and even more exciting. And here we are with Twisted Metal 2 on Hong Kong. And with Twisted Metal 2 with Darktooth, it's Charlie Kane, the driver of Yellow Jacket in the first game. But now he has a giant ice cream truck, the likes of which have never been seen in the series. He's mad that his little clown boy's gone, and so he's stormed the tournament as the final contestant. But if you look at his ending in Twisted Metal 1, you'd have to assume that in his ending, he becomes like a driver forever on Calypso's behalf. And so maybe events transpired, and now he's driving his giant ice cream truck as the final boss. A very cool one. Very great spectacle with this guy. And you may notice I'm not fighting Darktooth quite yet. There's a little bit of foreplay we have to endure before we can fight the big man himself. There is a code that takes you straight to Darktooth, but I figure I want to do a little bit of lead up to it, because I want the full level experience, not just the final boss. Because I treat like the first part of this level as part of the final boss, because they lead directly into each other. This is not a game that I really should be jumping into just raw, dry, cold. But I think Mr. Grimm doesn't give a fuck now, does he? But yeah, this is gonna be fucking wild, dude. I gotta get some health. I gotta go find some weapons, everything. The whole charcuterie board of tools at my disposal. I'll need every single one of them. Fucking Mr. Grimm. But the good news is I have all 3 lives, and so as long as I can muster up... Oh my god, damn it. I thought I had like a weapon that could just kill him, so I just kind of stood there hoping that he would die, but no, I just launched a napalm over his head. Watch my dreams be dashed. Let's see, let's try to finish him off. Okay, cool. We got 2 people down. I've used an advanced attack, which, once again, do not exist in Twisted Metal 1, and so now I need to relearn all of that. So relearn how to play this goddamn game. Hong Kong is, again, not the level you'll want to start on fresh. But it's okay, we'll get there. If this takes multiple retries, if it takes 20 retries, that's okay. It's part of the experience. Let's see if Shadow could eat a napalm. Doesn't that taste good? Napalm in the morning, or whatever time of day we're on Hong Kong. Heard that in a movie once. We all know movies don't lie. Alright, we just fucking rear fire. Oh, hell yeah, dude. Rear fire the fucking soul. Good shit, Grim. Good shit. Oh, what the okay, you're gonna swerve right into me, you fucking piece of shit. Alright, how about I get you frozen, and then I drive away. We never talk about it again. How about that? I gotta, like, relearn how to use all these fucking advanced attacks. Because it's not just knowing how to use them, it's just having that sort of rhythm, that experience to know when to use them. It's also extremely important. Just, again, the fact that the enemies have to spam everything just to make this a viable challenge. Oh my god. Dude, how am I always almost dead? Like, just me trying to get away. Like, out of one single room, I've lost all my health. Incredible. Spectre. Okay. I deserve that. I deserve all the pain this game brings upon me. Dude, okay, well, that was not supposed to be a napalm, dude. I want the opposite of napalm. I want you to be frozen. An unmoving target who cannot inflict anything upon me. Alright, alright. This should finish you, I hope. Or not, or I can just fucking eat all of it. God damn it. I need to start shielding more. I think that's my problem. I try to freeze when I should be shielding. They do the exact same thing, except the AI can still hurt me even if they're frozen somehow. Or they can still shoot weapons, but if I shield, and no matter what they do, nothing will hurt me. Inside my green bubble cocoon. Okay, alright. Fucking Sweet Tooth, dude. At least these guys are both almost dead. If I can just get... Oh, lordy Lou. The fucking souls just annihilated Sweet Tooth's dead fucking body. As Shadow shielded against it. Perfect. Well, the good news is, once we start the next phase of the battle against Darktooth, my health respawns, and so does all the pickups on the map. And so, even though I have no lives, all my health availability will return to me. So we're just gonna freeze and we're gonna machine gun until they're dead. And now everything is fine. The world is better now. We can rest. But only for a moment. Darktooth is here. Sweet Tooth's dad, ready to pick him up from daycare, only to find out his son is gone. Fucking blew his ass up. Also, I kind of like the aesthetic of Mr. Grimm, where it is just sort of a blacked out silhouette on a motorcycle. Good lord, holy fuck, dude. Can I just get a moment to fucking breathe, dude? Just smothering me. Holy fuck. Okay, I deserve that. Alright, time to lock in. Time to stop fucking around. Enough games. This isn't a game, this is real life, Mr. Grimm. I just need to get some more... I mean, his special weapon alone is very, very powerful. I should be okay with just using that. But I thought I could run away a lot better than I did. Like, the best strategy I really have for this fucking guy... Okay, how about... Did you not get frozen? Was that not a freeze? Okay. I fully expected you to not, you know, continue to move, but no. Okay, does freezing just not work against this fucking guy or what? Like, what the fuck is that shit, man? I think I'm okay. I think I'm in good shape. I think I only have just the one napalm, but if I can just hit him with it. Shield, shield, shield. God damn it, Grimm, stop bumping on walls. You're so small, yet you find every wall. Oh, the pain. The pain of sucking ass at a video game. Alright, fuck off, dude. But wait, what's this? Inside the giant head, you see the shriveled figure of an old man. Heads up, you freak, the senile fool screams. And we have a bouncing baby boy, birthed from the dead carcass of Darktooth. But he does go down easy. Not a lot of health with this fucking guy. And just a very inconsistent, weird hitbox this guy has. And he's already dead, thank God. And rush this guy even as Mr. Grimm. Congratulations, you are the winner. Thank you, game. It's a hard-fought battle, fighting one level and restarting already. One time. But that was fun. And that was Twisted Metal 2's final boss against the massive Darktooth, which is easily the biggest vehicle in the series up to this point, and for a long time. Really ratcheting up the intensity with a giant version of Sweet Tooth. The lore implications are very strange, I don't really understand it, but... Now moving on to Twisted Metal 3. And here we are with Twisted Metal 3, ready to take on Primeval on Calypso's blimp. And once again is Mr. Grimm, who looks a lot more goofy and cartoony this time around. Instead of leaning backwards like a fucking Chad, now he's in his gamer position, leaning forward. He's ready to take on his biggest challenge yet. And it's not just the physics. Here we are on Calypso's blimp as Grimm. Now we'll put up with this fight. Also, Grimm is fucking massive. It's ridiculous how big he is. Like, he's got to be at least 12 feet tall. Just an absolute unit. Built like a bone shithouse. But this fight, what makes it interesting is that it's the first time in the series where car combat got a little bit more complicated. So it's not just killing the opponents, you have to turn off these switches. There's 5 total switches, 4 small ones and 1 big one. Once you shut them all off, then it turns off regeneration, so then you can kill opponents without them respawning instantly. And that's kind of the big interesting gimmick here. Up to this point in the series, the only way to really interact with the game is just to kill opponents, but this adds an extra little bit of flavor to it. I'm trying to reverse and I cannot. What the hell? Why does my reverse not work? I want to get fucking blasted by goddamn Outlaw. Everyone get... No. Fuck you, dude. That is fucking horseshit. Okay. Well, that was supposed to be mine. Instead, he ripped it from my fucking jaws because I'm trying to get used to these controls that do not want to cooperate. This game is a very finicky, fussy game that refuses to work with me. So instead I have to tear it apart inch by inch. Alright, now we can start destroying people. And they've taken all my weapons, all my health. I'm left with just vengeance in my heart and very little ways to inflict it. But this sort of more rapid fire, you know, going through each game, is probably going to be a little bit challenging, I think, because like Twisted Metal 1, 2, 3 are all vastly different the way they do everything, essentially. And so having to like do one level of each after the other does not give you a lot of time to acclimate. So I'm definitely not anywhere near a pro, as you can see with the Twisted Metal 2 run with Grimmy there. So that's the extra challenge. That's the real boss fight. It's just these goddamn controls. But once again, once you destroy all the enemies, then you can fight the big man himself, Primeval, who, just like Twisted Metal 1, the final boss doesn't really have a whole lot of information about who he is or what the context is for him being the final boss versus literally anybody else. But he is very big, very menacing. He's Calypso's right-hand demon, is what they've said. But there's very little character bio outside of that. He's just, you know, one of Calypso's buds. He wants to make your life a living hell. And I think it should go without saying, but I do want to make sure that I do these, like, quote-unquote the right way, not cheesing them instantly as is possible with this game, where there is a level hazard here. Like, one of the only ones in the game I can think of where if you fall into it, it's like instant death, and that's that blimp hole there. And so there's a very easy way to just shove him in there. Okay, who died? Who also... Like, I yelled Hammerhead, and somebody else just fucking perished. fallen into the ether, mingling with the infinite. Mr. Grimm will meet them there once again as he delivers their soul to hell. Oh, that full health is back. Thank God. That's so hard, game. That's so hard to give me a full health for once. But yeah, I do want to fight this guy straight up. This Primeval son of a bitch. Let's see what I can do with my special weapon. That did fucking nothing, man. What the fuck? Grimm, your whole deal is that your special weapon is devastating. But instead you've let me down. My heart is broken. Prepare to battle. Primeval. There we go. Hit him with the lightning right away. That's not the cheese I'm talking about. I'm just not going to shove him in the blimp hole, but everything else is on the table. But his whole deal, like, he's very powerful. Obviously, like, his special weapon is just fucking stupid. But he's not exactly, like, the most difficult guy to fight. He just has a shitload of health. But with Grimm and my limited armor, I can only imagine that it's going to be a bit of a challenge trying not to fucking get one-shotted by this motherfucker. Because not only is this special powerful, but it shoves you. It has a very, very strong knockback effect. So I'm just going to fucking spam the rear fire. Bunch of homing missiles. Oh, fucking wasted a power. That's not good. I need those. Let's see, what can I do with a special weapon? Hello. Oh, you enjoyed that one, you son of a fuck. Okay, he got me with the special. I didn't see it. The fire was in the way, and through it emerged his fucking special. But hey, not bad. I mean, I got most of his health taken out, so there we go. Now we run. Now we run. Grimm, keep your shit together, please. Stay on all, what, 3 wheels? All 3 wheels. Stay on them. Fuck. There's more of these. If he gets a health, I'm going to be so devastated. If he gets a health, he is going in the blimp hole. I'm sorry. Like, I will not put up with that. There we go. Easy. GG easy. Way to go, Grimm boy. And there you have it. That was Primeval in Twisted Metal 3. A surprisingly good boss fight. I think it sort of matches the same energy as Minion in Twisted Metal 1. Just a very intimidating and challenging boss, but not so much bullshit that you're like, what the hell am I doing here? Still a lot of fun. Really ties this game all together. Really to enjoy, especially the gimmick with the switches and all that. But anyway, now it's time to move on to Twisted Metal 4. Ready to take on the most bullshit final boss fight in the entire series, and that's saying a lot for what's coming up. This time around, Sweet Tooth has taken control of the tournament, and unlike Calypso, he decides to make himself the final boss, which is very silly and very stupid, on his own Carnival, as if running a tournament means that you're actively competing within it. And not only do we have a tough battle ahead of us for any character, we're going to be using one of the worst, Captain Grimm, who sheds his Grim Reaper skeleton origins, and is now, well, I guess he's still a skeleton, just a pirate. And here we are now on the Carnival, which is an excellent map, one of my favorites. I love the vibe. The aesthetic of it. Lots of interesting nooks and crannies and places to explore, but I think the game that it's within is just not one that I particularly enjoy. And I am playing the vanilla version for this just to show off a more traditional boss fight in this game. My current series of playing every single Twisted Metal character, I'm currently in Twisted Metal 4, and just put that on pause for a moment because I just cannot bring myself to play more of this game, and this guy just feels like shit to drive, man. Holy fuck. Like, where all the other games feel so crunchy and satisfying, this one just, everything just feels too small, too punchless. A lot of flair, a lot of window dressing, but not a lot of substance. Like, Twisted Metal 3, at least the physics, like, even though they were kind of ass, like, they still felt big, they still felt, like, punchy. And this map is fucking cool. Like, there's no denying it, there's no getting around it. The map fucking rules. Oh, I love the tiny asset boxes in this game. It's my favorite thing about it. Poor tracking and small hitboxes. That is the calling card of Twisted Metal 4. It's what makes it the best game in the series, according to many. Like, this game is, like, genuinely makes me question whether I even enjoy car combat, or if I just enjoy, like, some games of Twisted Metal. Because if I just enjoyed car combat as a genre as a whole, then I should enjoy this game. And yet I don't. And maybe if I grew up with it, maybe I would have a much different opinion. And Mr. Zombie is just in a loop, where he's just going across, turning around, going back in the teleporter, jumping across, and so I don't really know what to do about this except to freeze him and just try to pepper him with something. But no, that's just all he wants to do. Get the very specific distance. There we go. Alright, finally. Got someone fucking dead. Finally made it to the next phase of the battle once again. with this clown fuck. And I guess an interesting fact about this guy as well is that he is the first final boss in the series that is also a playable vehicle. Because in Twisted Metal 1, Minion was not playable. Twisted Metal 2, Darktooth, obviously not playable. Twisted Metal 3, Primeval is not playable. But there you go. His special weapon is the Henchman, which is a fucking like roving band of assholes that do insane amount of damage, are relentless, and there's no escape. God, it wouldn't be so bad if they didn't last for like fucking 30 full seconds. Like, you can't escape long enough. No matter where you are, they'll fucking find you. What are you doing? What is this driving you're doing? I don't even know what I'm doing. What a waste of time with these fucking machine guns. I'm out of here. Just don't do a henchman and we'll be okay. Well, I got him down to the T of Tooth. And the good news is, the train, the roller coaster's gone. It can't hurt me anymore. Well, I know that Sweet Tooth is coming. So we're going to leave a little gift for him. And this isn't the same cheese strat that I think most people are aware of, where you can like launch them into the stratosphere using mines. These are just an actual use of mines the way they were intended. Alright, he's frozen. Merv, please. Do your thing. Alright, auto lob before I fucking die. Come on, auto lob. One more. Okay, we survived somehow. Don't even know how. His henchmen are showing mercy. Oh, good. Holy shit, man. And there you have it. That was Twisted Metal 4's final boss, Sweet Tooth, the most overpowered, cheesy bullshit boss this series has ever spawned. But now that that's behind us, we can move on to Twisted Metal Small Brawl with a real boss fight, one that isn't such astronomical bullshit. And here we are now with Twisted Metal Small Brawl. A boss fight that's about what you expect. It's just a very big, very tough, very menacing boss, but it has a neat gimmick. It starts out with 4 opponents on Now Slaying, which is a very basic map in this game. And I think an interesting fight for a boss. It's very intimate, very cramped. But you have 4 opponents. When you kill one of them, here we go, let's kill this guy. But they'll all convene into the stage and form the final boss, whose name is Piecemeal. So everyone floats towards the stage. Darkseid, Axel, Spectre. And they form Piecemeal. Like a Voltron of bullshit. And once he's a quarter of the way dead, he will break apart into his disparate components. And we have to rinse and repeat until they're all dead. All 4 opponents, and then finally Piecemeal. It's a very clever way to do a boss fight. I think some people have argued that it breaks up the rhythm of the fight, where once you sort of get into, your pocket, like doing good damage against him, sort of getting the ebb and flow down, it just all of a sudden breaks apart, and you have to go fight 4 other opponents or 3 other opponents a bunch of times. But I think it's at least a interesting way to break up the monotony of these boss fights in this game. So I think it did a great job. Everything else is pretty much the same. There you go. Quarter of his health gone. And now we must fight Warhawk, Darkseid, and Axel, I think is who it was. Oh, jeez. Yeah, I totally did the wrong buttons for the shield. I was doing the Twisted Metal 2 shield command, not the Twisted Metal Black one. There we go. Now that's a proper shield. But Mr. Grimm I'm playing very sloppy with, but I had to go through the entire campaign to get to this point, because this game, as far as I know, does not have level codes. So the only way to get here is to get here. You can't just pop in a code and be on your way. But Mr. Grimm is he's a lot of fun in this game. I think it works well. I think it's everything you could ever hope for with the Mr. Grimm, and the game itself is just very fun and very satisfying and intuitive, so definitely not a chore to get through this amazing game. And it'll be the same story in Twisted Metal Black, where obviously there's no level codes there, so I have to fight through the entire campaign on my own. But as Mr. Grimm, that should be a ton of fun. One of the biggest problems with this map is just the lack of pickups. There just really isn't shit. The big bomb, okay, the big bang. That'll do us a solid here. That's all I got. I got fucking big bombs and homing missiles. Got some Roman or ricochet. Okay, I got those. And then whatever this white one is over here. The question mark. The random weapon. It gave us a power missile. Thank God. That'll work out well. I want to save these power missiles for Piecemeal, but hey, fuck it. They all gotta die eventually. No sense in trying to save up. There we go. Thank God. And I want to try to pick these up before Piecemeal comes, because he will grab them. And there goes the very few weapons that are available. He'll just fucking yank it. But the story behind Piecemeal, I don't really know what the deal is in the game's lore. If it's, Calypso, or if it's like some weird-ass kid who just, took all of the other kids' cars as they got destroyed and just merged them into his. Because it seems like, I don't know, not his to take. Like, if you're a kid whose, car got fucking blasted in the tournament. Like, it's still your car, it's just destroyed. You want some, like, jerk-ass kid just taking it from you. Them's are fighting words. Then this fight gets out of the car combat and into the streets. It's all fists from that point on. But hey, I guess maybe that's the rules. Maybe that's the rules of Twisted Metal Small Brawl, is that once your vehicle is destroyed, you gotta forfeit it over to the weird kid who made Piecemeal, who I can only assume is Sid from Toy Story. I do like that once Grim takes enough damage, the rider just flies off. It's really emphasizing that, hey, by the way, that rider just for show. This is a remote-controlled car. Grim is at a safe distance, standing somewhere else. Yeah, they can probably finish off Warhawk here. Just get one special, perfect. Me and my 8 fire missiles will find you wherever you go. Just stay away from here. Okay. Also, I think he has access to every single special weapon in the game, and so gotta look out for my pumpkins coming back at me. So if I can just land one power missile, I think that should get him to the next phase, where I can then take out Axel. What the fuck? Where are you going, dude? Oh, that wasn't enough. Oh, God. Okay, there we go. Thank God. Oh, it's not Axel. Who's purple in this game? Who's the purple fella? Oh, Shadow, of course. Or Thumper. Actually, I think it's Thumper. Keep it together, Grim. Jump, leap. Great job. What acrobatic skill. Alright, this has to finish him off. Thank you. One final phase and Grim is victorious against the massive fucking Piecemeal. I like when the final bosses of this game are, like, it's a traditional fight, car combat fight, but it has just an extra layer of, whoa, shit, that's fucking crazy. I didn't think that was even possible in this game. Like, Twisted Metal 1, like, it was just a regular fight against a more powerful opponent, but it's the first time around. What do you expect? Twisted Metal 2 was like, oh shit, this is a final boss, because he's so big. Like, he's big, he's fast, has a shitload of health. He's relentless, he has an option for every sort of situation. Twisted Metal 3, had the gimmick with the switches. Twisted Metal 4 was just, absolute fucking horseshit. And then now this game does this. And then Twisted Metal Black, we'll see later, like, having an actual, like, full-on fucking helicopter. What a spectacle. I don't think the fight is necessarily very good, but it is a great spectacle. We did it. Piecemeal destroyed. And there you have it. That was Twisted Metal Small Brawl's final boss, Piecemeal. Now moving on to Twisted Metal Black.
You're in violation of Midtown City Code 4432. Step out of your vehicle and surrender peacefully. Time's up.
And now here we are with the final boss, Warhawk, a fucking helicopter. He brought a helicopter to a motorcycle fight. What a fucking fool. And now he's a giant pain in the dick, unless you fight him in a very dumb and cheesy way. So if you stand in the very center of the arena here, then you can just avoid most of the damage that comes, and then you can take out these tankers just fine. But the gimmick of here is not only is he a helicopter, but he has a giant fuck-off shield that can only be disabled by these convenient tankers that fly off from the Special Ops rooftop. As you destroy the tankers, their explosion will damage his shield, rinse and repeat 3 times, and at the very end you have yourself a destroyed helicopter. But for me, this boss fight sort of goes against what I think a boss fight should do, which is test your skills that you've learned over the course of the game. Where this one, like, versus the helicopter, like, it is technically a vehicle, you're still using the same weapons, and you're maneuvering around the battlefield and stuff, so all that still stays the same. However, most of your weapons cannot track Warhawk very well, really at all. And it's like, for Mr. Grimm, the only way to get his special to hit is to sort of sit underneath Warhawk like this, which is, there's no way this is what they intended for this boss fight. But it's the only way I can get him to work. I'll try to demonstrate here. So if I sit in the center, I can get underneath his nose cone and sort of just feed him, well, allegedly. Supposedly you can hit him, but he's much too shifty for that. But of course, like, under normal circumstances, as he flies around, like, for him to be using, like, the third dimension, the Z-axis, up and down, my special weapon that shoots in a straight line in front of me, a car stuck on the ground, just doesn't usually add up very well. There we go. That's all it takes. He tried to stop us. Warhawk is a policeman who tried to stop us, and he failed. And as far as final bosses go, it's a pretty short battle if you know kind of what you're doing, but I suppose they thought it'd be so difficult that even though it's really just 4 opponents, the 3 tankers and then the 1, just the difficulty alone would suffice, but not the case. I think it's a fine boss battle. It just, for me, it doesn't really stand out in the series, and I don't care much for not being able to use half my arsenal. But anyway, now on to a more traditional boss fights in Twisted Metal Head-On. And here we are on the final battle against Darktooth, harkening back to Twisted Metal 2, of which this game is a giant homage to. Although this version of him is not as exciting. It looks cooler, the concept art is definitely very cool, but it's not as intimidating. He's not as big as he was in Twisted Metal 2, but a more aggressive style for sure. We'll take our steel chariot into battle. Getting to this point has not been easy. It's been a brutal slog of boredom and blandness. But this game is not difficult in the sense of, like, the gameplay is just hard to overcome. It's more about not being bored the whole time, because it's kind of just too easy, too straightforward. All the weapons do an insane amount of damage. The enemies are not very aggressive. But now the real final battle. Since we just demolished the first guy, now it's, again, an homage to Darktooth's second phase, where the head appears in the combat section, but now it's a giant Tower Tooth. And it's a good time to bring up that Darktooth, and by extension Tower Tooth, is driven by Needles and Marcus Kane, the driver of Sweet Tooth and Roadkill. And I don't know why they're the final boss. Like, Tower Tooth and Darktooth, like, make sense as vehicles for the final boss, just because, you know, Twisted Metal 2 had it. Lore doesn't mean a goddamn thing, but they seem to be trying to drive home the whole connection between Marcus and Needles Kane, yet they don't explain it. They're just like, hey, look at these guys, they're the same, right? They're piloting the giant final boss. What do you think of that? And you're like, I don't know what to think about that. You've told me nothing about it. You've given me zero context. Like, it's a lot of very vague nonsense that I don't really know what to make of. Yeah, this boss fight is not really that exciting, I don't think. Like, if you do it the quote-unquote right way, or at least the most straightforward way, it's kind of just to do laps, because you want to pick up the 30% health that are along the way, because he will pick them up. Not on purpose, he just happens to drive over them. So you just do your laps, pick up some weapons, hit him as much as you can, and rinse and repeat. In the first phase of the battle, he is like a normal target. What the? He's fucking stunting on me, man. What kind of... What the? Okay, he's launched himself. I was gonna say, the first stage is not, like, too terrible. It's pretty easy. It's when you get to the second stage that it becomes a lot more bullshit, because he can only be damaged in his head, whereas the first phase he can be damaged on any part of his body. And so in the second phase, you need only weapons that can target his giant mug, his stupid head at the top. So homing missiles, swarmers, fire, things like that. Of course, you can, you know, get to a vantage point where you could hit him with more straightforward weapons like power missile or your upgraded machine gun, stuff like that. But for the most part, I think you just want to use homing weapons. But it'll tell you, it'll say stage 2 cleared or whatever, stage 1 cleared. But it's around halfway on his health bar, so there we go. Stage 1 cleared. And now, my weapons should target his head. And this is where we want to use our homing missiles. Okay, thank you. And he shields like a motherfucker, just constant shielding. And that lightning attack also disrupts you. Kind of a massive pain in the ass. Charge up our 8 swarmers. See what these can do. Well, I think some of them got there. Not terrible. Okay, I deserve that. I thought maybe I can get one more. Oh, what a gross head he's got. My Tower Tooth, what a gross head you've got. That should finish him off. There we go. Too easy. The towering tooth has been knocked down. A second tooth has hit the tower. That's it. That's the final boss of Twisted Metal Head-On. Very clumsy, dumb fight that was. But a fight, nonetheless. And here we are with Twisted Metal 2012. So this game's kind of interesting as far as final bosses go, because as there's 3 drivers, there are 3 campaigns, each one with its own final boss. There's the Brothers Grimm on the first campaign, there is Iron Maiden on the second, and then finally the Carnival of Carnage on the final campaign of the game. So I consider the Sweet Tooth Carnival of Carnage to be the true final boss of this game, because final being a word that means something, I think the last boss you fight would be the final boss, or at least the last level. And in this case, it's Sweet Tooth Carnival of Carnage, which we will try out, we will take on, and it will be crushed. Now, this is probably the most elaborate level ever to be designed in a Twisted Metal game, and I don't think it's even close. And for this fight, I do like to use Shadow. I think they're the most effective for the parts that matter for whatever car you have. And so we'll go with them this time around. As Dollface, look at her go.
To his followers, Sweet Tooth was a king. He was a god, and they'll never stop worshipping him. The day he died, they began to build this in his honor. They say one day the clown will return, stronger and madder than before. For now, they roll across the land, searching for a sign of their lord's resurrection. Pity you, Krista.
And yeah, that's the fucking fight. We have a giant mechanical destruction monster. It's up to us to get rid of it. This first section it can be very easy, but if you don't really time it right like I did, you can end up kind of wasting a lot of time. But basically, you're supposed to destroy this giant sweet tooth head who only pops down every so often. Once he's destroyed, there we go. Then you hop into its mouth, and it takes you up into the monster's belly. Very simple, very easy. It can be difficult if you sort of get stuck not being able to kill that thing, and then all the sweet bots sort of have at it.
Where the hell are we? This is such a freak show. Hey boss, you think that clown's gonna help us bring this place down?
No clue, but I can smell the crazy.
Yep, and now we have to fight a bunch of pedestrian chainsaw people. But the one that matters is this bomb guy, who shits out of the cannon. He hops on your car. The other smaller guys can also hop onto your car, as he just did. And they'll start to chainsaw you. They don't do a whole lot of damage, but if you bump them onto a pinball machine, they fall off. I'm realizing as I'm describing this that it's fucking insane, and it is. It's definitely, you want to know what they were thinking when they made this thing, because this is absolutely like the most bizarre and weird use of the Twisted Metal mechanics that I've ever seen. But you need the bomb guy to jump onto your car and then use the ramps to launch it into the clown's face, thus destroying it. So you gotta hit the target, they poop out another bomb guy, you avoid the chainsaw guys, and then you just put him into the fucking wall. Put this man through a fucking wall. And that's really it. You get the last one on there. Hit the eyeball. Perfect. And that's it. That's the second phase. Now it opens its mouth, and next is an obstacle course. Which does to me reference the... fucking chainsaw guy just fell off. This does reference like a Twisted Metal head-on, some of the mini-games that were there. Having an obstacle course here. But this obstacle course is fairly easy, I suppose. I've had troubles with it in the past, but I think as long as you just sort of stay patient and don't try to just rush through it, then you should be fine. But I say that as someone who's probably going to get stuck on one of these fucking chainsaws. But we'll wait for each one to pass. We'll hop right on through. No big deal. And of course, I didn't recharge my health, and so... it was very limited, but there's cool. There's a pickup right there. He's bouncing random balls, sort of knock you around. They have no use for weapons beyond the first section of this map. It's all about the turbo from here. But like this first few sections of this boss fight are not that bad, honestly. Like the killing the sweet tooth guy, like that's actual car combat. And that's the only bit of it we really see. And the second part with like sending the clown into the clown head. That part's not too bad. And of course this obstacle course, could be worse, but I think it's just a fun use of like your driving skill. Just like that, we're all the way through. And now the Fists of Doom. Open up your butthole. There we go.
You've come so far, Krista. You fought so hard. Now all that stands between you and the attention you so rightfully deserve is this metal beast. They think they're safe, tucked away inside their god. But they don't realize that their own weapons will be their death. They don't realize that you, dear Krista...
And now here's the worst part of this game by far. And I know a lot of people think Iron Maiden's bad. I think this part is... It's like fucking broken. It does not work. And I despise it. And you have to do it so many times. It's obnoxious and it barely works. I think that's the only way I can describe it. Very frustrating. But the only way I know how to get through it easily... because you have to... There's a bunch of sweet minions flying around, which is, hey, fine. You're supposed to kill them, and then you pick up their bodies and then drop it into the big mechanical clown's head. but it just doesn't work sometimes. It just, you know, sometimes decides that you didn't drop it into their head. It just, like, bounces off the rim, and there's nothing you can do about it. But I get the Mega Guns, knock out the sweet minions, and then follow them all the way to the bottom pit. There we go. Pick them back up, fly up, and it's supposed to, like, sort of get sucked into its hole or whatever. And see, I guess it worked that time. And you gotta do that, what, 5-6 times or something like that? It's fucking ridiculous. But the Mega Guns are the easiest way to knock out the clowns. Very easy. Fuck did he go? He landed on the obstacle course. Crazy. Come on, there we go. See if I can get all 6 or 5 or whatever it is to land perfectly, I'll be shocked. Dude, where's your fucking head, dog? This guy's all crazy. Alright, I like dropped it directly in. And it worked, great. Like, it's a lot of cool concepts and ideas, and you really do admire them for, like, taking chances and swings on the car combat formula for the campaign. A campaign that really, like shouldn't even exist, really. Like, it was more or less an afterthought. So you do have to say, hey, good job on just making it interesting. Come on, there we go. Get over here. Dude, okay. Stop it. Get out of my way. Another part of the boss fight, too, is it's not very, like, intimidating. Like, at no point are you really in any danger. Like, the fact that this giant mechanical head is, like, someone I can just walk up to and not give a shit about. Like, he's more of just an annoyance in my way. Hey, it worked. Thank God. It just speaks to, you know, cool concept, poor execution, which is probably the tagline for this game. I don't know, I'm out of Mega Gun ammo. It's okay, I only need a couple more of these guys. Don't run away. Get over here. Talon's turret you'd think would be more effective in this fight, like his Trigun turret, but like the only real reason to use him is the magnet. That's all it's here for. Because the Trigun turret, for some reason, like does like reduce damage to the sweet minions, and I think it's to discourage you from using it. That way, you always have a special available to, you know, pick him up with your magnet. Because the Trigun turret is actually, yeah, there you go, just doinked off the rim. Good shit. Or did it? I don't know. He's more damage than he was a second ago, so must have done something right. Because these sweet minions do not have a lot of health. I mean, you can see just my machine gun and a like a slight ram was enough. Where the fuck did he go? What kind of shit we doing here? So he's a swarmer. Guess I can find some more Mega Guns. There we go. This guy should be it. That should do it. Oh, thanks for not falling all the way to the bottom, dude. That's super nice of you. Very kind. Thanks for letting me destroy your leader. Alright, see if I can get it from the 3-point line. Perfect.
The freaks are done! Now we get our wishes! Now we're gonna be supermodels! Krista? Oh, wait, no! No, Krista, no!
Only room for one at the top.
And there you go. That's Sweet Tooth's Carnival of Carnage. In one fell 7-minute swoop. A lot of fun, a lot of excitement. Of course, Krista betrayed her gunner. And as you can see, their whole job was just to be supermodels. They did all this destruction and violence and like supernatural bullshit just to be supermodels. The things you do for your career. World of Twisted Metal. And there you have it. That is beating every final boss fight in the entire Twisted Metal series. At least the ones that matter. I hope you enjoyed. Let me know what your favorite boss is down below and what you think about Mr. Grimm, about this video, about this series. If you have something nice to say, say it. If not, well, keep it to yourself. Anyways, have a nice day.
Sup, baby? You're on some real dope king shit, real talk. Sometimes the heaviest things we lift are not the weights, but our feelings. Keep your head up, king. Your crown is falling.